Good morning. So the last time you saw us, we had a big yellow van behind us. Today, there's no yellow van. It's been sent off to paintwork, and she's coming back today, and she's going to be a completely different colour. He's taken all the dinks out, all the dents, everything. It's coming back. It's going to look brand new and have absolutely every faith in him as well. Can you guess what colour we've gone for? I bet you know already, but yes, we've gone for grey. We loved our old van, Vangelli, so much we've decided to replicate it again. So the van's actually been gone now for about a week. It's not an easy process painting a van. In fairness, they've had to strip it down, taken all like the plastics off, taken the doors off, the bonnet, all sorts of stuff. Thanks for that, because it's always nice to see what's going on with your van. So this week there's not actually a great deal happening on the van either when it does come back. Unfortunately, we can't do any work this week because Vanology Conversions have got a 48-hour challenge on. We're going to basically do a camper van in 48 hours, so morning to night. Go back and see that if you're interested in how we got on, because right now I'm quite nervous about it, I'm not going to lie, but I do think it's achievable. We've got a really good team here, so we're just going to crack on and get that done, and then yeah, we can make a start on our van next week. First things first, let's go see the paint job that's been done on our van. Thanks, Con. Oh, she's beautiful. Look coded. Look how pretty she is. Oh, I'm stoked. Absolutely stoked.
Thank you very much, Chris. Much appreciated.
He's done amazing, bless him. This is the second van he's had to do for us now, and I think he's ready to retire. He's had a guts full. Yeah. No more rolling Rucks vans in there. But I'll just show you the back. Look, he's even done the badge. So this is where we left off. It's really strange now because I've come inside the van and some of it's grey and some of it's yellow. But obviously this is all going to be covered up, isn't it? So it doesn't matter. Now I've calmed down from the colour, because you've got to admit the colour is pretty epic. I thought I'd come in the van and have a quick chat with you about where we're at and what we're planning to do next. We left it at sound deadening. We didn't do any insulation because obviously they had to take all the dinks out of the van, repair all the sort of damage that was here before, and it's obviously just a hassle. If I'd insulated it, they would have had to take it all out anyway. But that's why I didn't do any of that. Floor, as you can see, has been treated. The wheel arches have been treated, so I can put the sound deadening on those now. Basically, Stuart said to me I'm not allowed to do any more yet. Now the reason for that is because he's got quite a bit to do on the electrics, and because we weren't sure about what layout we wanted to choose, because he talked to you last time about having 2 or 3 different ideas. I'm still quite set on having the dinette, no pop top, big bed at the back with a single underneath, so that still gives us some garage space. We're going to have a toilet room, as we said. We're not having a shower. To be honest with you, we've never used a shower in a van. I think even when we had the A-Class we only did once, and it was just such a faff to clean up afterwards. I was like, surely when we're travelling we'll just go on a campsite once or twice a week or whatever, and we'll just have our showers then. The kitchen's going to go here where the sliding door is. I'm just going to fit a tap with a shower head on it, so then if the kids have been down the beach, for example, and they're just by here, we can just hose them down. That'll be absolutely fine. We're going away on the weekend. We haven't managed to do anything on this van as yet because we had the 48-hour challenge that we were working on, which the boys did amazingly, and they managed to complete it with 1 minute spare, so absolutely phenomenal. We're in the unit today. We're basically giving the place a really good clean up, because you can imagine after all that work it was just really, really messy, so that's why we're here today. But yeah, just appreciate how beautiful this van now looks. We're obviously going to get the wheels changed. We're going to get some big, nice, big fat tyres on there, BFGs or something like that. We're loving like all the gloss that Connor's done. When this van went in, we basically said to him, do what you want. Because we just knew it was going to be ace. He's even done the black trims by there, so they're all colour coded now, looking really, really smart. And he's black glossed these as well, which is just really, really cool because it matches this. Have you ever seen a Mercedes looking like that? So those of you who said keep the yellow van, you'll know it's us, well, I still think you're going to know it's us just based on having this colour coded like it is. It's just lush. In a couple of weeks time that'll really come forward, and if you've watched the 48-hour challenge you've seen how quick we can put things together. Now speaking of 48-hour challenge, the van that we've completed is still here, so I'm going to give you a sneaky preview. Sorry, I'm just watching Stu reversing it out because he's getting a bit close to the cars, I thought. He's just doing the final bit of testing on it before it goes to its customer today. Don't run me over. So this is the 48-hour challenge van. So I'll just give you a little peep. and it's only going to be a little peep. So there you go. This is done with lightweight ply, corner trims. This is the sort of floor that I want to have in ours, but the more of a grey colour rather than the oak. He's got a long bench seat with a lagoon table, double bed at the back there with a fridge, and the kitchen cabinets have all been handmade because our CAD decided to break down beforehand. It's been a challenge, but the boys did so well, and you can see it's a really smart looking van. I'm not going to step inside just because I've got dirty feet and I don't want to get all the floor dirty after I've cleaned everything. But yeah, they've got the induction hob over there and sink. And the tap then just pops out. So yeah, I think it's really cool, and they did absolutely amazing to get that done in 48 hours. Right, so our van, planning to have laminated wood this time. It was something we sacrificed on the crafter. We ended up going for lightweight ply because we thought, oh yeah, we can paint it and we can sand it down and all of that. But to be honest with you, when we got 3 kids and we were on the road quite a lot, there was just no way we were going to paint and sand and all that stuff as things were being used. So this time round I was like, laminated all the way. We've chosen, I believe, white. We want the high gloss look. So yeah, it'll really brighten up the space in there. As I've just showed you the chevron style floor in the 48 hour van, we want that kind of thing, but in more of a grey tone. And instead of having the oak worktop, I'm definitely going to go for composite. Now, I don't know which one yet, because obviously girls love sparkles and blokes not so much. So we're definitely going to have to compromise somewhere there. Yeah, we've really got to pin down this layout and decide exactly how we want to go for it. So whilst we're on our sort of break, I think that's where we're going to really sit down and plan and get the ideas together of what we want to achieve with this van, because frustratingly, we can build a van out quite quickly, but Stu wants to take his time. He wants to do it bit by bit, and he wants to get it all right, and he doesn't want us having to change vans again in the future. So I completely understand. I mean, we're on our 4th van now, and quite a few people are saying, oh, you're chopping and changing a lot. Well, unfortunately, sometimes you have to chop and change a lot because you've got children who are growing and your situation changes, your circumstances change, and the way you travel changes as well. For us, yeah, it's just one of them. Sorry about that if it's bothering you that we've changed our vans. Some of you may love it and find it a little bit interesting, but you know, we're only human and we navigate through life like anybody else, so that's that. So currently both bays are empty. We're going to get both vans put in here once it's all cleaned up, and I have spent the morning giving the place a good clean. The kitchen's looking really nice, and the fridge is full of drinks for the boys and some chocolates and stuff for when we're away. When we get back, we'll go through the Sprinter in more detail. We'll make sure that you're updated on the layout, you know exactly what we're going to be doing with it. We're getting all our materials ordered. There's things in that van that we want to put in that we haven't done on the crafter. So yeah, it's exciting. Destination Just had Christmas, we're straight back at work, and we're here because we're working on our own van. So Stu's made a good start on the floor. He's insulated and put the first panel down at the front, and now he's putting his noggins in.
This is where the joints of the ply are. So if you do a strip all the way across, you can biscuit it, but it's quite difficult in a van because of all the angles, and we like to get them quite tight. So to try and get them biscuited, and you drop in a panel in like that, like, see, this panel now is right up against the wheel arches. Oh, yeah. I haven't got enough space to slide it down the van, so it bypasses the biscuit in this first board, and you can slide it in. Now, some vans you can do that in, but we've always done a different method where we run battens along all the seams. That just allows for a nice tight fitting in that area, so you don't get any movement on them joints.
You've also done all the sound deadening. We'll finished off the bit that I started anyway.
Yes.
And we're going to do some thermo lining today. So
yes, I had to go around as well. Like, I noticed on a lot of the new vans, and I'm talking Boxers, Staccatos, Crafter, and the Sprinter, these here all have like a foam adhesive, and it's to keep the panels rigid on the outside, because obviously it's single skin. So that's what these are for. They silicone or foam these onto these panels, look, so there's no movement. But they're all separating. Now, older vans, I never really see the problem, but it's always on the newer vans, so I've had to go around all the joints, look. Even on some of the roof rafters, I've had to do it.
Just to reduce all the sound and the movement when you're driving.
It's to reattach the outer skin to the frame. I've seen it on so many different vans. I'm like, they're getting lazy with some of the stuff they're doing. We had a brand new Ducato, and I mean brand new from factory, and we had the exact same problem on it. See, that one is separated, it looked good, but that actually needs some silicone as well. Do this one, because we're cutting this panel out, aren't we, for a flare.
Oh yeah, so I don't need to thermaline that one then?
No, so I said don't thermaline this one or the first one, because that's where a windows go in. That panel there does need sound deadening. I don't know why that wasn't done. I think it's because I was debating whether to flare that one as well, but I'm not.
Wouldn't it look better with two flares though? Because it's symmetrical.
Yeah, I don't know. I hear what you're saying. Like, we could put a flare on, but we wouldn't use it internally. Because A, it's not wide enough for a double bed. So that's why we're doing it at the feet end, so we can kind of sleep like a bit of a jackknife, and we get the extra length.
Oh, okay.
Whereas if we do that, me and you got a 1200 double, which is the small double.
Yeah.
Way too small.
Are we still putting Emilia underneath our bed now? We've decided that's what we're going to do.
I think so, yeah.
So we're going to have some garage space, obviously, for our chairs and table and like barbecue or whatever. We are going to take half of the space for Emilia to have a bed. I know she's going to like it because they loved the pods on the last van that we did. So she'll be chuffed. The boys not so happy because they wanted the pods, but they're unfortunately way too big for them now. So we're going to have a dinette at the front area up there, and that'll then convert into a double bed.
And we're also trying to build it so that in the future, like when the boys don't come with us or they have their own van,
They'll probably have their own van.
We can adjust this van to suit us a bit more better for when it's a smaller berth.
Yeah. I'm not prepared to say that they're not going to come, because so far they've always said they'd like their own van and they'll follow us wherever we go. We'll see on that one. We'll play that a little bit by ear, because you know kids change their mind.
As long as I fit an Xbox station in their van.
Yeah. Right. So, as I say, it is the Christmas break. Nobody else is around. It's just me, Stu and Emilia here today. Going to try and get as much of this done as we can. We've only got the holidays to get it done. Stu's booked up back-to-back with vans in January, so we're going to have very little time to get through our own van other than evenings and weekends. So obviously that's the plan, is to try and do as much as we can when there's no one else about. That being said, I better shut up and get on with it, hadn't I? Really enjoying fitting this thermal liner actually, because it means you can get right under the nook and crannies and get everything covered in the van, which is a little bit more difficult with PIR. You can tell when everything's going well when Stu gets his little dances on. So I was just saying to Stu how me and him being in together and work building a van together was actually quite nice. It was like the good old days. And he started reeling off all the vans that we've done. There's quite a few actually, love, isn't there?
Yeah. Done. We did our crafter. Alright, granted, mostly me, but you was there.
I was there making tea.
That was our very first family build, and then we did the box on the drive with me. I mean, again, it was mostly me, but
I did a bit more on that one. I did some insulation, PIR board cutting.
I think you actually got stuck in a bit on the build side of it.
True enough, yeah.
And then you spent a year and year
annoying everyone.
To be fair, you've had a hand in pretty much every van that's gone out.
Yeah, I've been doing all sort of insulation and stuff, and where the changes are happening, I've adapted myself to those as well. So Stu's been doing the PIR floorboards, and it's very neat, I've got to say. So anyway, this is where we've got to. Just helped put some ply on the bench for Stu to cut, because he's just going to do this section of the floor here. As you can see, he's got the wheel arches as well, so he's going to have to do some fancy scribing around those to make that look neat and tidy. I've been doing the insulation up the top there. You'll notice we're not using the PIR on the walls. What we've been doing is using thermoliner, but it has got a sticky back, but we've also been spraying on as well adhesive. So it's heat resistant adhesive. That's the one we've used. So it's really good if you're abroad, hot temperatures, cold temperatures, that kind of thing, because it will make sure it stays on. And that's what you want. You don't want any of it to come apart or away from the single skin. So I've just put some bits in everywhere. Anywhere I can get it in. So I'm going to make a start on this side now. There are a couple of bits I haven't done because, as Stu's mentioned, there's flares going in, there's windows going in.
Should we give them a demonstration? I've put some spray adhesive in this section. Now we're cutting this panel out, so there's a window going here, so it doesn't matter what I do to this panel, right? So if I stick one of these just on the normal skin of the van, right, and then I'll put one on top of my contact spray adhesive, right? So we'll give them both a rub. Right, it's about the same, love?
I'd say so, yeah.
Right, so this is the one without the adhesive. Comes straight off. Now, these vans can get very hot, and that's going to melt that glue, and that is just going to come straight off. Watch the one with the adhesive. Yeah, it sticks, yeah, much better. And to be fair, like, you need to give that glue a good sort of half hour to properly go off. So that glue was still going off. Yeah, look at it.
Yeah, to be fair to that as well, that black stuff is an absolute pain in the backside. So if you get it wrong, you are going to be peeling that off for a little while. Paint scraper is probably better for it. If you make a mistake with that stuff, it's sticking like that and it takes absolutely ages to get off. So make sure you've measured and you've got your area and you know exactly where it's going to go, because as soon as that first point sticks, it does stick on quite tough. Right, it's 1 o'clock. We're going to leave it there for today. And yeah, I'll just quickly show you where we're at. So the last bit of the floor hasn't gone down because it needs quite a bit of scribing, but Stu's done the templating. He's just sanding the 2 panels there. We've managed to do the top and most of the bottom of the insulation. There's quite a bit left to do actually, but we're going to pick that up tomorrow. Let's go. That's now the floor all done. Happy with that. Right now, I can't do anything on the van. So I've done all the sort of insulation to the point where I could carry on. I couldn't do any more because the first fix electric needs to happen, and that's not yet been done. There is something really cool though that he has done. He's taken this chair out, but he has actually bought us another single chair, so we're waiting for that to arrive.
That was hard because there was only one on eBay, but they wanted 1,200 quid for a chair. I was like, no chance. And then one came on Boxing Day. Same chair,
yeah,
base, and it was exactly the same as the 1,200 quid one for 600 quid, so I grabbed
bargain.
it.
So yeah, once that comes, we'll have 2 front seats, which will be ace. And yeah, this van will start taking some real shape then. But we have spent quite a few days over the Christmas period coming in.
Sorry to interrupt, give a shout out to Paul for coming and helping as well.
Yeah, thanks Powell.
No worries.
He loves it really. Basically, yesterday I made the pair of them have the day off. And I was like, come on, we'll go on a nice country walk and have a carvery and whatnot. They weren't happy.
I was in the end.
He was in the end. But it's managed to be. So yesterday, what that's meant now is they've had more rest. Rather than trying to do a bit every day and slog it, they've had a day off and they've been able to come in today and just get cracking with it. So
refreshed.
Yeah, you are refreshed. So I'm going to go get them both at McDonald's. They'll have their energy. They can crack on and get this finished. And hopefully when I come back, I'll be able to show you the aux beam lighting working. Thanks. Now the lighting's finished, I was able to crack on with the stuff in, and here it is all completed. So Stu's going to give us an update on what's been going on.
So, on the roof, we've done a couple of bits. We've got one of the max fans in. We were going to put an aircon at the back, but the overhang is too big because the reverse camera on this comes up. So we're going to do an under bench aircon unit. So just put another skylight at the rear. We've put lighting on the roof. As you can see, all the first fix wiring is, I've calculated about 120 meters of cabling in here.
We need a lot of power.
Yeah, there's 6 230 volt sockets. I counted 19 lights.
Yeah, we tell them why though.
Right there, and 9 USB points.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of lighting in this van, because the last van we did, we had a lot of lighting, but it wasn't quite enough.
Yeah, we're just pushing some boundaries a bit for us. So it's like we want lights in the wall cabinet, so when you open the door, the light will come on. So So we're doing that on all the wall cabinets. Obviously you got under-wall cabinet light, and you got 2 bed USB lights for us, a bed USB light for Emilia.
Plinths.
Yeah, we're doing the plinth lights, the ceiling lights. There's lights everywhere. Lots of lights, lots of choices. Like you've got a garage light, and yeah, lots of lights. And then there's 9 USB points, because there's 5 of us. You could just never have too many USB points. Like I even snuck 2 up in the B pillar here, and they've got Type C and Type A chargers on.
They're really cool. Put one each side, so well happy with them.
Yeah, because you never get enough USB power in the cab, do you?
No, we're always suffering, and quite often we end up sitting on the step there and then plugging into the somewhere else.
Yeah, but because this seat's going to swivel, which, oh, that's something else I've done this morning.
Yeah.
Direct some lights you can actually see.
We've got 2 front seats.
So we now have, yes, 2 front seats. I managed to find one where the cloth matches the original.
So just to show you, so you can see they're exactly the same, which I'm super chuffed about. And there wasn't actually a seat here.
Found this for £600 with the base. I just had to cut the floor for the base to fit. All the riv nuts are in the floor ready. And then what I done inside the actual base, I've put an anthracite carpet down so you can't see any of the bodywork.
Steve's taken the headliner out. You might have seen us doing a bit of work on that in the video.
Yeah, the headliner came out because we had to do the light, and we had to insulate it, because a lot of people forget about this, and then you get a lot of condensation running down your window, and this is one of the worst parts. So that's got 2 layers of thermal liner, and then all the gaps are covered in fleece.
We've run out of fleece. We've got those little 3 squares to do.
Right, and we've also got a confirmed layout. We know exactly what we're doing now as well. So obviously we're keeping the 2 front seats.
Yeah.
Passengers going on a swivel. There's going to be a bench seat rear facing here and a forward facing bench seat there. So that's going to be 4 belted seats, and there'll be a table in the middle. We'll do some more USB points for the kids for when we're driving.
Yeah, they're going to need their electric power.
And then the table will drop down to create a base, so this will be a double. Our bed bulkhead is coming halfway across the wheel arch. See, our bed coming across, but our bed's going to be a little bit higher. We should still be able to sit up in it, love. But it's because Emilia's going on the bottom widthways straight on top of the wheel arches.
Yeah.
So she's got a supply as well, because she'll have a USB light, and we're also putting a fan in for her. And we're also going to do a gas drop vent into ducting, into a computer fan, into a vent on inside her cuddy, so we can get airflow in there.
Keep her nice and cool, yeah. But she does like the pods, didn't she, from the last time?
Well,
so
she's small enough,
she is small
well,
enough.
and it's just
yeah.
her now. Now her bed's going to come to about here.
Yeah.
So underneath her bed, I can do the battery and the inverter.
Yeah.
They're out of the way. And then we still got a garage from about here to here. So we still, and it's going to be up here. So we've got a really good garage that's completely clear. And then I've also done a 230 socket and a 12 volt socket for this side. And that 12 volt will also supply the garage light.
Yeah, so we've just got a ply line, but we're waiting for a minute because there's still some things that need to happen on the roof, isn't there, love?
Yeah, so the way we do it is we do the ceiling first before we do the walls. So we get the ceiling 100% finished before we do the walls, because you just get nicer joins in the corners. But I've still got to do the solar panel, the solar entry gland, another max van bit here, a Starlink mounted for there, and I got to put the 3 awning brackets on. And I like to put all the roof stuff on. We take it outside, it gets water tested, we can check it all, and then when we're happy with it, then we'll line, insulate, ply line the roof, and then whatever coverings we choose, which you'll have to find out in a later video.
We've still got some bits left to do in here as well. We've got a flare that's going there, so that's why that's not been done.
Yes, a flare for here,
and
a window for this panel,
yeah, and then
window in the sliding door. I've also taken, on the Sprinters, you have the plastic trim all on the outside of the, all on the outside of the bodywork. The trunk's a little bit of cabling going up there, and it's only probably about 15 cables, but we had to cut them all. More than half needed extending. So it was a lot of work, a lot of soldering, but we've managed to get the cable now so that it's inside of the walls. So you can see where it comes up here. Instead of it being in big chunky trim that was coming out here, that's just bonded up there a minute. And we will have to still do a cover for that, but it'll be a lot smaller. From this point onwards, it's all been sunk, it's all in conduit, it's all protected.
Yeah, it took you a while, but to be fair, it looks much better.
It took nearly 2 days, that did.
Yeah.
Because there was so much soldering. And then externally...
Yeah, this is something that Stu's very excited about, so let's get outside and show him what's going on.
So on the front, we've done a bonnet deflector, and that's to stop stone chipping the new paintwork. But I do like, because the grille's been done in gloss black, and this is gloss black, it actually ties in really nice, so it's not too over the top. There we've done a 52-inch Oaks beam light, and we've also got 2 bonnet lights to do. The wiring is in, we're just waiting to order our brackets from Mule, so we can get those mounted. And then at the rear I've just done 2 small ones for when I'm reversing in the dark.
Yeah, you're quite happy with those, aren't you?
Yeah, because the camera's really good on this. It's a factory camera, but it's not that great at night. So I was going to only put 1 up there and plan putting it centre, but again, because of that brake light, not the brake light, because of the camera, it had to go too high, and I'd have had to have done a custom bracket, and it would have been too high. So I bought 2 smaller ones and put them to the side. So they're just coming down, and they're purely just for when I'm reversing in the dark.
So progress-wise, it doesn't appear that loads has been done, but it's all the behind-the-scenes stuff that does take absolute time, doesn't it, to get sorted. Yeah. But I'm really happy with it.
Well, that's it. The floor's in as well, and
yeah.
I've been doing it by myself. Well, and you've done your bit as well, but it's just over Christmas, so it's just a little bit of potching here and there. Paul came down and helped me for a few days as well, so he did help. The central locking doors, the central locking was sticking on both doors now and again, so he's freed both of them up for me, and he adjusted the sliding door, so that's now nice and tight and not rattling.
But we're actually not that far away, so although it still looks like it's at the beginning stage, once the roof is in,
well, the roof is the priority
it
now.
can be ply lined then, can't it? And we're well on our way, so we're not too far. It just doesn't look that much, but I think we have done loads. We spent a lot of man hours on it.
That takes up half the time of the build, getting it properly prepped like that. So once the flare's on, 2 windows, the skylight on the roof, 3 awning brackets, a Starlink, and the solar panel with entry gland. We've
still been debating this morning as well about which windows, because the bonded windows aesthetically look insane, like really, really lush, especially with the grungy look that we're going for. The bonded windows would look mint, but
they're single glazed.
They're single glazed, yeah. And we've been doing motorhome windows, haven't we? And they're so much nicer.
We are definitely confused on that one, because we know the motorhome windows are better.
They are, yeah.
And they're double glazed. You get the integrated fly screen and blind with it. They're nice, they're clean, but aesthetically outside, the bonded win. And
we're only going to have 2 windows on this van as well. So let us know in the comments below, what do you think this van would be better suited to? It's 2 windows, 1 each side. I'm thinking more towards bonded.
And I'm more thinking towards the motorhome.
But you'll have to catch up with us now on the next video, see where we're at. And thanks for following and supporting us as always. If you like what we're doing, hit the subscribe, follow button, whatever. You know the thing, you know the drill. And we'll see you on the next one. So until next time.
We'll see you in a bit.